Welcome to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover on the lunch break, powered by JM&E and also via the BS3 network. You can watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Musk, Fire TV, and of course, Roku, courtesy of BS3 TV. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If not, just go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. Welcome. Let's get into it. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review, local name Global Perspective. Joining me momentarily, I think about 12:05, will be Mr. Alvin Franklin, Senior Associate AD of my alma mater, University of Houston. So stick with me for that. Don't go away. This will be his second time on the lunch break. Appreciate him taking time out of his busy schedule to join me to talk about his first few months on the job at UH, how it's gone, what he's learned so far, things like that. So we're going to talk about that with Mr. Alvin Franklin, not the Hooper Alvin Franklin from way back in the day of the late Phi Sigma Gamma, but a younger Alvin Franklin and no relation. Miss Wanda Polk, thank you very much. How are you? Enjoy your lunch. And Miss Wanda Polk, I think she has met uh, Alvin Franklin. So that's going to be something I want to ask him about is folks he's interacted with, alums, et cetera, supporters of UH, how that's gone, what he's learned from them on his listening tour kind of thing. But if you have questions for him, hit me up in the comments on YouTube and we'll take care of those, try to address those. Please be respectful. Y'all know how I am. I like conversation. I like constructive dialogue, but don't get ignorant. I'm not here for that. I'll block you, remove you, and keep moving and won't think twice about it. Okay, this is my show. Be respectful of me and my guests. So I'm putting it out there right now. Try me. But yes, my goodness. Yesterday was a busy day. Signing day, National Signing Day. Cougs, Coach Willie Fritz had his first one. Talked about, I think the latest number was 24 signees. That was the last press release that I got from UH. I think 24. Coach Fritz had mentioned that he had hoped to get a total of 25 on Wednesday, December 20th. Maybe waiting on one more signee. But I posted one comment from him of my questions on YouTube Short at the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, as well as on Musk and other platforms for the Roundball Review. Some of his comments about his plans for recruiting, signings, NIL, all those things. He's going to be part of it. He's going to be more active in fundraising, talking to the supporters, boosters, alums to help. Because you follow in athletics, big time athletics, NIL is important. Media rights is important. Florida State in the news called a board of trustees meeting to lay the groundwork for leaving the ACC in due time. That's inevitable. Probably going to go to the Big Ten, most likely. Not the Big 12. I think it's a pipe dream for a lot of folks who follow the Big 12, but I don't think that's going to happen. The SEC would be a defensive move because University of Florida would, no, we don't want them here in our conference. No. But FSU, supporters, alums, administrators want out of the ACC, want out of that mere pittance of what is it, $40 million annual compared to the 70, 80 million that the Big Ten and the SEC will be getting in future years. It's unsustainable. How can we survive on only $40 million a year? Oh no, what are we going to do? Whoa. We're going to get out of our granted rights. That's what we're going to do. All right. Good luck to them. Good luck to them. It's going to be a lot of happy lawyers with all those legal fees. Rocket fans, did y'all see that defensive travesty that the Rockets put on display Wednesday night against the Atlanta Hawks, especially the first 2 minutes in the fourth quarter when it was alley-oop, dunk for the Hawks? Coach Udoka was not happy about the Rockets' awful pick-and-roll defense. It was just embarrassing to watch, but we'll discuss that later on about the Rockets. Joining me now, I hope he's ready I think he's ready. He's got a smile on his face. Gonna bring him in, Mr. Alvin Franklin.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for taking time to join me. I appreciate it. How are you?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm great. This has been a fun ride so far. It's crazy, man, to think I hadn't even reached the 4-month mark. It feels like I've been there 4 years, so it's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what you got there. What you were hired in August, but joined
Yeah,
in September, right?
I joined. Yeah, the first week of the UTSA week. First leaving the first football game. Yep.
So how these 4 months been for you?
Man, it's been I call it, at first, what I've transitioned to a couple of different schools before, and I like to, the whole cliche first 90 days of listening and learning tour. But it had been that way here. It's been a little more unique. We put out an email a couple of weeks ago when we hired Coach Kris about call to action, and this role has been a call to action role. Since I've arrived, our fan base, donor base. This is a very passionate group,
Yes.
and they're very passionate. They care. They're very smart people. When I say smart people, I'm not just talking about what they do for a living. They're smart when it comes to, the college athletics landscape, and where they want to see their Cougars, the heights they want to see their Cougars climb to. So
you got Miss Wanda says hi to you.
Miss Wanda, yeah, we had breakfast last week. She's awesome. She is absolutely awesome.
And I commend you because the last time you were here on the lunch break with me, you said that you would meet with her and get with her, and she let me know that you did, and y'all have communicated.
Mm-hmm.
So, in addition to her, what have you learned, or how many times have you had sit downs, coffees, lunches, breakfast, whatever, with other supporters of UH?
So far, I've probably had one-on-one conversations, sit down, somewhere between 40 and 50 of them since I've arrived. Which is pretty on par. I call myself kind of a volume guy. I think it's very important, in this line of work, fundraising, development work. It's hard to do it sitting behind a desk.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost impossible. That's something else I learned about our fan base. They've been longing for it. They've been longing to have that face-to-face, to be able to touch, interaction. But somewhere between 40 and 50 people, that number will grow tremendously as I've now got my arms wrapped around it. That's definitely a goal of mine, to get out as much as possible, to share, the vision of our athletic department, where we're trying to go.
Well, let's get into it. What is the vision of the athletic department, and where are you trying to go?
So, right now, I kind of twofold. I'll start with kind of Cougar Pride. From a Cougar Pride standpoint, really what I've seen as we go into the new year in 24, storytelling. We got to tell our story and give people the full scope of where we are and where we're trying to go, and that's in all facets. What makes up an athletic department? What are the different areas that impact our student athletes? What are we doing what are we doing for our kids academically and supporting them? What are we doing for them to prepare them for life after sports? Those are all initiatives. Mental health. These are things that people from a giving standpoint can also contribute. They can earmark their dollars directly to those areas. And I'm under the belief, I don't believe in just approaching people and just asking for money. I like to take department need on one hand, donor interest on the other, and bring it together. So being able to really, our office, tell the story. Because right now, since I've been on that listen and learning tour, when I say Cougar Pride, or I ask people, what does Cougar Pride mean to you? Or what is the organization? People say, that's how I get my tickets. Right. But at the end of the day, we have a ticket office that's outside of Cougar Pride.
Right.
So how are we different from the ticket office if people feel like, oh, Cougar Pride is how I get my tickets in my parking? Right. There's a keen philanthropic component to our area, but we have to tell the story to connect people's interest there. So that's definitely a goal. The engagement, we kind of touched on the engagement, the face-to-face interaction, challenging, my team, our staff here at Cougar Pride to get out and about as much as possible. This is one of the, top 5 cities in the country from a size standpoint and population standpoint, people all over town, that are longing for what we're talking about. Right. And then once we got two international airports right here, like when I was working at previous institutions and you were in those small college towns, you're in the car all day. I was in Mississippi State. I had to drive to Birmingham, drive to 2 hours to Birmingham, 2.5 hours, and drive back. And, it's a long day going to Nashville and back. Here, you can jump on a plane and go to Atlanta in the morning and see 3 or 4 people, and you're back home same night. And we need to start looking at how to expand and being able to grow the base from that standpoint. Making people feel their impact at all levels.
Okay.
That we have people that have that, that affinity that, hey, I want to give $100. That's $100 is impactful for me. Mm-hmm. Okay. We need to be able to show how that $100 is impactful all the way up into the $1 million plus people, right? We need to have an avenue for everybody to get involved and everyone to feel that they're making an impact on our student athletes. So that's visionary for Cougar Pride, and also alignment right now with Lincoln Cougs. College athletics is evolving and it's changing by the day. And one thing that's here, and I think here to stay for a while, is NIL. Mm-hmm. And so right now, the NIL space, is starting to become more prevalent, especially in recruiting and in our industry. And so how do we, as both Cougar Pride and the athletic department, have this synergy and full alignment with Lincoln Cougs? So that's there. And then from the athletic department standpoint, we're trying to make sure we can resource our athletic department for our coaches and our student athletes to have success. That's it. At the end of the day, I can name 10 different bullet points, but it all comes back to how can we resource this department for our coaches and our student athletes to have everything that they need to be successful.
Do you have plans? Have you thought about plans of how you want to go about the storytelling of the student athletes?
Yes. So, you can go, you got the cliche social media piece, but we have some things that are coming about for the new year as far as what we plan to do with letter winners. We have a plan around donor newsletter. That's something that me and Ms. Wanda actually talked about that last week. We're going to have a Cougar Pride newsletter that's going to launch in January, and it's going to come out every month. And the goal is to have it the first Monday of every month. And it's going to be a piece that people can really enjoy to learn different things about what our student athletes are doing and what we're doing for our student athletes holistically. Not just what they're doing on the field, on the court, but how are we empowering them off the field, off the court? Really develop the holistic human being in that sense. We're going to be more, like I said, more engaging on social media, and the face-to-face interactions, and for every level of donor. That's kind of the goal there.
Will the newsletter focus on one student athlete, or will it be more than, or like a team or a sport? How's it going to work?
It's going to focus on, from our perspective. So we have right now the H-Town newsletter that comes out from the athletic department. So we have an athletic department centric newsletter that's more fan centric, kind of tell people what's going on. And then we kind of going to blend. We now have one that comes out from Kris Pesman that's, from his lens. Mm-hmm. And then this one from a Cougar Pride perspective is more going to highlight, one student athlete a month, kind of our student athlete of the month, but we're also going to highlight some different things that are going on so people can see their dollars in motion.
Okay.
How are yours? We're going to highlight a success story every month. This is a student athlete that may have played here in 1996, and he or she is living in San Antonio and very successful in life. This is what your Cougar Pride membership is, providing scholarships for our student athletes. This student athlete took full advantage of the opportunity and the education they received here at the University of Houston, and look at what it led to them being today.
What has you kind of touched on it a little bit, but in your listening tour, what have been some concerns that you've heard from fan supporters, or what were they like going forward in 24 and beyond?
Well, outside of winning,
yeah, of course,
that's the number one thing. People want to win. People want to be a part of it. Everybody loves a winner, right? But people want to feel heard. They also want to be supplied with a toolbox, right? Of, all right, where are we in comparison to Texas Tech or Baylor or other peers in our department? Where are we ahead, or where are we behind? Where are we? We don't know, like, how much, what is the expectation from an attendance standpoint, and why is attendance so important? Like, we say it, but are we putting the why behind it? To give people that toolbox for them to go tell a friend, the whole phone a friend mentality, right? It's hard. We want people, we look at Houston, University of Houston Athletics. This is a community, right? But the people, we have a group of fans that are all in it. We see it in everything. That group of donors and fans that literally come to everything. How are we equipping that group to go reach out to their network to get others excited?
Right.
It can't be just because they have a good time. I enjoy coming to the game. That's why you should come too. Right. And so that's a focus of ours, of really equipping people with their own personal toolbox to go out here and spread the word of what's going on here at the University of Houston and why it's a great time to jump on board.
What has been the response from supporters regarding the hiring of Coach Fritz?
People have been very excited, as they should be. He's a great coach. He's won everywhere he's been. And, I think people are really excited about, I've talked about the holistic, the complete person aspect of being a student athlete. He believes in that. He really does. And I think that is why, if you look at his track record, his teams play really hard, right? Let's take the talent out of it. At every level, his teams are disciplined. They play hard, and they create a sense of pride for the fan base, right? They're proud to represent whatever university he's been at because of the things that his programs represent. And so, very excited. People are very excited to have him here. I think he's going to do a phenomenal job. He's all in, willing to do whatever it takes to promote the program, to promote University of Houston, to promote our athletic department as a whole. People are excited. They're ready to roll. I wish we played a game in a month, man. This waiting 8-9 months is going to be a lot of anxiety because everybody's ready to see us play. And you saw what he just did yesterday, salvaging the 2024 recruiting class and really, really creating some momentum from that front. And he's not done. They're not done down the hall. There's still some, some more recruiting for them to do, and there's some other guys, big fish they'll wheel in, and everybody's excited.
And let me say hi to Ben from BS3. I mean, Ben, the platform is what we're on. So good afternoon to you, Ben, at BS3 Network. You can watch this show live right now on Roku. Brother Franklin, yes, this show is on Roku TV. So let the UH people know, yeah, we're on Roku TV as well. Kris is on Roku. Yes, sir. That's right. All right. Here's a question from a longtime supporter. Do you think having the athletes do more commercials will help them and maybe get more recruits?
Well, yeah, the commercial piece, that's a part of the name, image, and likeness platform. And, I think that, our NIL with Austin Elrod and Landing Gessling that lead that area, they're doing an amazing job of connecting the business world and the corporate world to our student athletes, and giving our athletes a platform to showcase themselves. And it really does help with recruiting. And we're going to do even more this over the coming months and years to come with exposing our student athletes to those different things, because it is attractive in recruiting. It sells. It really does. And people, recruit 16, 17, 18-year-olds are drawn to those types of things.
Have you spoken to the head coaches at UH to pick their brains and kind of share your vision for what you have Cougar Pride with them?
Yeah, I think the only coach, and it was just from a timing standpoint. I mean, I haven't spent time on a one-on-one basis with Coach Sampson yet, and it was just really with the timing of my hire and them going into preseason stuff, and we were in the middle of football season. They were getting started, but I think every other head coach I have spent time with to talk about the vision for Cougar Pride.
Great. Okay. Got a high. Dr. Maisha is someone you need to meet too if you haven't already. You need to meet her as well. She
Okay.
and Miss Wanda are share the same vision and love for the university. She and I have talked at women's basketball games, and we kind of joked around, messing back and forth with me, her, and Miss Wanda. Where are you sitting? Where are you sitting? Kind of stuff at a game, trying to talk. But yeah, she's someone who supports UH in all the sports: volleyball, basketball, women's basketball, everything. So put on your listening tour list as well. Yes,
I will be reaching out. There's no doubt about that.
What are your goals besides newsletter? What are your goals you'd like to accomplish in 2024?
Really, the biggest thing is putting a really big dent into two things. We need to grow our donor base. So that's the number one goal. We got to get more people a part of, and getting excited about being a Cougar Pride member. It is essential for us as we, try to close our financial gap. It's no secret we're not a full share. We talk about the media money and what it's done for Power 5 programs. We're not a full share member for another couple of years. Mm-hmm. And so, we're in a league where, most of our peers have been, Power 5 programs for a long time. So getting more and more people involved with Cougar Pride and growing the base, getting people, we got a special announcement coming in the spring from a major gift perspective. And the goal there is to get all levels from a major gift standpoint. A major gift at the University of Houston starts at $25,000 over 5 years. And that's something, when I ask that question, what's a major gift? And I've asked that literally on just about every visit I've sat on with people. I say, hey, do you know what a major gift is at the University of Houston? And everybody, the number one answer is $100,000. That's the number one answer that people give. But it starts at $25,000.
Okay.
And so, trying to create avenues for all levels of quote unquote major gifts, whether it's 25,000 to $1 million plus, but giving everyone a chance to make that really significant impact on different projects, initiatives that we have. And trying to complete the football operations project, Moria Herman Football Operations Center. Of course, construction has started. We've broken ground, but we're still a good ways away from a fundraising standpoint to put a bow on the project.
Do you take it as a challenge to get people to join Cougar Pride? Because based on that answer you've heard about the 100,000, some people have the perception that my money doesn't make a difference. My money's not 100,000. My money's not even doesn't come close to that, Mr. Franklin. So, you sure you can can I help at all? Are you coming across that at all?
Yes. And that's the thing. That's just the major gift side of the house. We also have the annual fund side of the house, right? Mm-hmm. And Cougar Pride membership starts at $150 for a year. Mm-hmm. And people can do that all at one time. They can set it up as a quote unquote pledge and pay it out monthly. And have it as an automatic bank draft, automatic credit card draft. And we really want to simplify things and show people what their dollars go towards, right? Like, for instance, like books for a semester now are around, $600. Mm-hmm. And so, $600 donation, which you just did, you just provided books for a student athlete for a semester. That's a huge deal. That's significant. And so, like I said, we're just, really want to make sure we're communicating at a high level at all levels of the totem pole so people can know we need everybody. But this is not a, one or two people, the joke that people throw out there all the time is just call, if you call Tillman, you call Tillman. But we need everybody. That's just, it's the God honest truth. We do.
Because there are roughly 300,000 alums, living alums, like around Greater Houston and Greater Houston, something like it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Who, for a lot of years, too many years, lost touch or felt disconnected from the university.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you accepting that challenge? You and other employees
Yes.
accepting the challenge to reconnect them with their alma mater?
Yes. 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 And also I would tell you the alum piece, that's essential, right? To make sure that we provide an avenue to get them involved, but we're not shying away from the t-shirt wearers as well now. Right. We always talk about, the joke in college athletics is Alabama and Nick Saban. And people laugh about how many people are Alabama fans and never stepped foot in the state or never, never been to a game, never attended a class there, but they're diehard Alabama fans. They got an Alabama tag and they just that, right? How can we also create that same sentiment? We got a top 5 basketball program. What Coach Sampson and his crew has done is absolutely phenomenal, right? And there's no doubt about it. There are some t-shirt wearers out there that are now Houston fans because of that success, right? We got to engage them and make sure they stay on board and tell a friend and phone a friend as well. And so, the alum piece is essential, but we also know the t-shirt wearers out there too. And we want to also capitalize on that momentum as well.
Do you have an email address, or how can people who are interested in supporting UH contacting you, how can they reach out to you?
So they can contact me. My email address is, do I need to type this in?
You can try to type it in. If not, I can type it in or copy and paste it as a banner. Let's see.
I'll type it in right now and see if it pops up.
It's live, Alvin, and so don't worry about issues on. As long as you're respectful of the show, we're all good.
Yeah, did it pop? Let's see it pop up.
Let's see.
Did it pop? Let me see.
Because it's AR Frank 4, right?
Yeah, at Central.
Let me type it up here. There we go. I got you right there. Thank you, sir. So let me make that a banner real quick. There we go. Let's show it right there. All right, right there. Oop, Let me delete one thing here. Get rid of the arrow so folks can see it. As folks know me, I'm a proud UH alum, proud graduate. I'm a lifetime member. I've done all that. So I have put my money where my mouth is. Oh, Kris, you don't? Yes, I have. So don't worry about all that. But yes, reach out to Alvin Franklin. He's taking time out of his day, his schedule, to be a guest on this edition of the Takeover, the lunch break. Don't be a stranger, sir.
Oh, no problem.
I appreciate you doing this. Is there anything you want to say in closing as we wrap it up?
No, just we thank everybody. Happy holidays to everyone, and basketball game tonight. We got a doubleheader on the 30th. Got women's basketball and men's basketball on the 30th. We appreciate everyone's support. We know that people care. It's not lost to us. The thing about it is, people go, do you get shied away or do you get distraught when people quote unquote complain? And no, I don't, because at the end of the day, if they're complaining, that means they care. And it's, people have different opinions about different things. We see them, and we're prioritizing things. We try to do everything that we can to make sure that we're making everyone proud to be a Houston Cougar. But, we appreciate everyone. Go Cougs. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year.
Alvin, you gonna be at the game tonight?
I will be.
All right. I will see you this evening in a few hours, and you take care. Thank you very much.
All right, man. You have a good one.
You too.
Okay.
All right. One more time, I'll put the email up for Alvin Franklin, the Senior Associate AD at the University of Houston, right there, arfrank4 at central.uh.edu. Hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. watching live. You can tell your friends about it. If they missed it, they can watch the show on demand on YouTube at Houston Roundball Review, on Roku at the BS3 Network, on Facebook, Twitch, Fire TV, Musk. If you're still watching stuff on Musk, which I'm gravitating away from more and more. But I want to salute Alvin for doing that. And it's the bottom of the hour. So I want to play the clip so everybody knows BS3 Network. Kris, what is BS3 TV? I'm glad you asked, because BS3 is changing the way you watch TV.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, Fire TV, YouTube, of course, at Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, but also on Roku, courtesy of the BS3 Network. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If not, just go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. One more time, if you missed it, I'm going to put up the email address for Alvin Franklin, the Senior Associate AD of Houston. Reach out to him if you want to exchange some ideas, communicate with him, meet him for a coffee, a lunch, brunch, and learn ways you can support the University of Houston. Email right there on the screen, arfrank4@central.uh.edu. Signing day, kind of curious. I know this, the Cougs announced 24 signings. I'm looking at the 247sports.com website. They only list the Cougs at 15. I'm not sure if that's because of only high school players or what have you. But they're no longer bottom in the Big 12. And ironically, this must be just because high school players, but ironically, the last place team, according to 247 Sports recruiting rankings, is Colorado. So got to be a high school recruiting thing rather than transfer portal, but it's okay. The Cougs, as my man Corey said, 24 signings. Coach Fritz, the ship didn't sail. And Coug fans know, Coug followers know what that statement references. The previous head coach said that the class of 24 recruiting, that ship has sailed. Well, Coach Fritz signed almost half his signees were high school players. High school players. Well, that's part of the class of 24. I guess that ship didn't sail, or that ship didn't sink. Stunning, 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 stunning. Thank you, Corey, for that little info. See, you got a smart audience. I don't know everything. I stopped claiming to know everything when I was like 10 years old. I'm now 51. So if I don't know, I ask or let folks tell me what's going on. Corey says he believes 247 only has the high school and JUCO players as signees. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. As always, see you tonight at the game, hopefully, as the Cougs men's team host Texas State. I think Texas State is what? I think 5-6, something like that. Cougs are 11-0, number 1 or 2 in the net. Playing well. Did have some disappointing news, sad news. Sophomore forward Terrence Arsenault tore his Achilles tendon in Saturday's game against the Aggies at Toyota Center. Terrence had surgery Wednesday, December 20th. The surgery went well. He's recovering. Coach Sampson said recovery time for Achilles surgery is roughly 5 months. I've seen anywhere between 5 and 6 months. But basically, barring any other setbacks, Terrence should be good to go for next season, the 24-25 season. I believe, no one has confirmed it for me, but I believe since he played in 11 games, that's beyond, that's 33% of the Cougs' 33 games for the regular season. So that is above the threshold to receive a medical red shirt. If he'd only played in 9 games, I think he'd qualify. But since it was 11, he is not eligible for a medical red shirt. I believe that is accurate. If I am mistaken, please let me know. But getting back to the scores, the schedules, women's team, Cougars 9-2, coming off a 71-63 overtime win over Rice Wednesday. It was ugly. Rice did not score in overtime. They were 0 for 9 from the floor in OT with 6 turnovers. The Cougs were just 3 for 7 in overtime, missed their first 4. Layla Blair fouled out at the end of the fourth quarter, but the Cougs still found a way to win. A rep from the Big 12 conference was at the game yesterday. We'll see if the Cougs are ready for conference play. Nia Boyd and Layla Blair both said post-game to me, because unfortunately I was the only media there at post-game press conference, but they both said they believe that they are ready for Big 12 play. First game will be December 30th in Big 12 against Texas Tech. Home game, 1 o'clock, as Alvin touched on, be a doubleheader for the Cougs on Saturday the 30th. Women play at 1 and the men play Penn at 7 on Saturday, so it'll be doubleheader. We'll see if Houston Cougar women's hoops is ready for Big 12 play. Hopefully, yes. Big 12 is much improved, especially at the top this season in women's hoops. Cougs coming off a 95-48. Let me see that one more time. 95-48 road loss at Pac-12 Washington State Sunday afternoon. So beating Rice Wednesday was a bounce back for the Cougs. I think Washington State is better than Rice. Better level of competition. 95-48. Yeah. I think there are more teams in the Big 12 similar, if not better, than Washington State than there are teams like Rice in the Big 12. But you still got to play the games. So we'll see what Coach Huey and his players do come conference play that tips off Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock at home against Texas Tech. Next, my goodness, tis the season for basketball, tis the season for holidays and spending money and buying some. Oh, got to do this. Buying some Houston Roundball Review merch like a mug. Here, click on that shop button if you're watching on YouTube. Buy a mug, buy a hoodie. The zip-up hoodies are still available till the end of this year. Limited time only. Roundball Review hoodies, zip-up hoodies. Other hoodies also will, non-zip-up, the pullovers. So got hoodies, Roundball Review hoodies, long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, short sleeve shirts, tank tops, mugs. So a different way to support the Roundball Review, in addition to word of mouth, telling your friends about the work here that I do, along with AD Moore for the AdMax Corner, covering the Houston Texans. You can advertise on this show, get your show's advertisement, ad, company, banner spot, seen on Roku, Facebook, Twitch, Musk. Advertise here, email me, got to do that, do a better job promoting myself and my own business, got to do that also. Email me right there, kgardner@thehrr.com. If you want to advertise, still time to advertise to close out this year and get it going in 2024. Got a lot of plans for content providing starting in 2024, Big 12 basketball tournament, March. Well, you got a great opportunity to advertise on this show and Folks Talking Sports and be seen by a lot of people, a lot of eyeballs. I start streaming shows on Instagram when I do these live stream shows, not just on YouTube. So Instagram as well as Facebook and Musk. So think about that. More and more eyeballs watching your banner, your ad, your spot on the Houston Roundball Review shows. Speaking of, the Roundball Review's been approved. The media group has been approved for the Cotton Bowl. And my colleague Liz McKnight, Oklahoma State, will be there. And then for the CFP National Championship game here in H-Town in January, AD Moore and the Fifth Wildcat will be repping the Houston Roundball Review at the CFP National Championship game. One more time. Say it again. The Houston Roundball Review Media Group. Football. Ransom football. AD Moore has already covered the big game in the NFL's big game the last 2 years, repping the Houston Roundball Review Media Group. People. I got plans to grow this platform, to grow this group, cover more sporting events. Advertise with this show, advertise with the Roundball Review. Help us help you grow. It's a fun time cruising on the Big 12. Roundball Review's more than just the Cougs. Let's make it happen. HCU men basketball. They got a win over Champion Christian. Big win. 107-72. Then they lost on the road to SMU by 36. Next game, Friday, College Station against the Aggies. Boy, if Wade Taylor IV does to the Huskies what he did to UH, Huskies are in trouble. So Wade dropped in 34 against the Cougars. No telling what he's going to do against the Huskies, but we'll see. HCU women, 5-6. Game on the 18th, they won beat Shriner by 26. Their next game is not until the new year. January 3rd, A&M Corpus Christi tipping off Southland Conference play. Game on ESPN+. PV men beat North American. Yes, North American. 92-61. Lost Wednesday night at Rice. 82-56 to fall to 5-6. Next game, next Thursday at UTSA, 7 p.m. PV women are now 3-6. Lost at Rice last Saturday, the 16th, 85-59. Lost even worse to the Aggies in College Station last night by 52 points, 88-36. Their next game is next Saturday versus Wiley College. Wiley College. Near and dear to a lot of folks' hearts in HBCU land. That game tips off on the Hill at 3 o'clock. Rice men, after getting mashed by UH, they're doing pretty well. They're now at 500, 6-6. Win over Northwestern State by 16. Beat Prairie View men by 26 Wednesday night at home to the field house. The next game is Friday evening, December 22nd, versus Louisiana. Game can be seen on ESPN+. Going to give a shout out, as far as I know, Randy McAvoy, I believe, but I know for sure Smacker Miles will be on the call. I interviewed Smacker. Smacker and I had a conversation last Friday. You can watch that chat on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Yes. Her government name is Catherine. She prefers Smacker. Yes, Smacker. She is one of Les Miles' daughters. Smacker Miles. You can watch the interview and learn a little bit more about her and how she's got started in the sports media landscape. But right now, she's a freelance sports reporter. But Smacker will be on the call Friday for Rice men versus Louisiana. Women's hoops, Rice Owls lost in OT Wednesday afternoon to Houston to fall at 6-5. They're off until conference play. First game in the American. First game as a member of the American Athletic Conference will be January 3rd, home against the Shockers. Wichita State, 7 p.m. on ESPN+. Rice beat Prairie View last Saturday at home to the Fieldhouse, 85-59. TSU picked up the first win on the men's side Sunday in Vegas over Howard, 79-78, after losing Saturday to NCA&T by 6 after, let me go on the big screen here. Tigers play Sanford tonight. Home game, first home game for the men inside H&P Arena, 6 p.m. tip-off. TSU men versus A&T led by 18 points. 18 points, lost by 6. A&T went zone. P.J. Henry, Tigers' best player, point guard, on the bench in foul trouble. And man, oh man, Tigers struggled, how to attack the zone, couldn't make shots, did not say couldn't, did not make shots, and just ended up losing the game. So a 24-point turnaround in that game. Tigers led by 18 and lost by 6. TSU women, they're losing, and losing by a lot. They lost last week at Tulsa by 37, 82-45. Lost at home this week, Monday, to Nebraska, Omaha by 5, 68-63. And then Wednesday afternoon, lost to California Baptist from the WAC, 83-62. Their next game will be next Saturday, busy day on December 30th, versus Tarleton State, 12 p.m. inside H&P Arena. So TSU men are 1-8. TSU women are 1-9. Yee. Those records will change once SWAC play begins. And I think change for the better, especially on the fella side. Women, they'll win more than one game in SWAC play. Not sure how much more, but yes. But if you got questions, comments, these final few minutes before I send it to Miss Sybil Wilkes, hit me up. Talk about the Rockets and that awful defense. Quote from Coach Udoka regarding that bad pick and roll defense, what the Hawks did, slipping out of screens. What we talked about before the game, and obviously at shoot around, at halftime, the Hawks slipped out of everything. 90% of the time they slipped out of screens. That means the big man didn't set it. He just kind of did a ghost screen and rolled to the hoop. They got, I think, 3 lobs in a row slipping out of screens. That's the fourth quarter, early fourth quarter. Hawks went on a 9-0 run. First was a 3-pointer, I think, from Garrison Matthews, because rookie Amen Thompson lost track of Garrison in transition. And then the next 3 plays, middle screen, high screen, pick and roll, middle of the floor. Dunk, dunk, dunk. And Rockets defense, after doing such a great job in the third quarter, holding the Hawks to 21 points to get back in the game, 1/3, 35-21. Fourth quarter, Hawks said, nope, we're not losing this game. Started the fourth quarter with a 9-0 blitz. Timeout Rockets to talk about the defense. Hawks said, okay, we're in the same play again. Got another dunk. Just one of those nights where the Rockets defense has slipped off the last few games. And I did all this talking and hype about them last week on my Let's Talk Houston Rockets show. And the defense is really taking a step back. And guess who comes to town Friday for the Rockets? Luka Doncic. He does pretty well in pick and roll. So I'm kind of curious to see how the Rockets defend Luka in pick and roll against the Mavs Friday. Home game. Rockets part of, I think, 9 of 10 games at home. So we'll see. The loss to the Hawks ended the Rockets' 11-game home win streak. We'll see if they can start another one Friday versus Luka and the Mavs. What do you think about it? Are you concerned? Are you concerned with how poorly the Rockets are playing when Fred VanVleet goes to the bench? Coach Udoka said, quote, "We cannot fall off a cliff when Fred takes a rest." Fall off a cliff. That's what he said. Fall off a cliff. That's not good. Oh, man, you're going right into it. Thank you, my man, for this. These final few minutes of this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Do you think the Rockets need another big man for the middle? That's where they are hurting. Well, all mad. They were facing a big man who Rocket fans have been pushing for in the discussions during my Rockets live stream show. They want Clint Capella. What do you think about bringing Clint back to the Rockets? Would he help? Do you think Alpin Shingun would get the message and do a better job in today's film sessions that they're going through to go over what went wrong last night and how they're going to defend Luka and the Mavs Friday night? All mad. I've seen it. I've heard it. There are some Rocket fans. I got even comments on it on one of the videos on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Rocket fans, not sure how many it is, what percentage, want to trade Jalen Green. What say you, all mad? Corey, Tony, what say you? Some of them are fed up with Jalen Green already. Want to trade him. Had packaged one of my buddies, I won't say who, was tossing out a trade proposal, but I think it involved Jalen, maybe Jayshawn Tate, Jock Landale's contract, but it involved them to get DeMar DeRozan. Thoughts on that? Ahmed says no, no, no. But not even for DeMar DeRozan? I wonder about that. Wouldn't that kind of really speed up phase 2 for the Rockets, Tony M., Corey? If they made a bold move like that? Going after a veteran like DeMar DeRozan? It's interesting. I tossed out there, I was joking, kind of. Trade Jalen Green to Detroit for Jaden Ivey. Kind of two inconsistent young men who may need to change the scenery. But I'm calling it now as a Pistons fan, not a credential media person. Some way, somehow, the Pistons will end their losing streak tonight at home versus the Utah Jazz. Knock on whatever I have around me, wood or whatever. It's going to end at 24 straight losses. Detroit will beat Utah tonight some way, somehow. I don't know how. I mean, Detroit has lost like every kind of way possible during these 24 straight games. Bad shooting, bad defense, bad shooting and bad defense, injuries, you name it, they've done it to lose. But tonight, they will get their third win of come on, oh man. I'm talking as a Pistons fan, man. Talking as a Pistons fan. Utah played last night. I'm hoping they had playing trouble. I'm hoping they haven't arrived in Detroit yet. Yeah, I'm talking right now. Like right now, they still haven't arrived yet. They're gonna be exhausted. And Utah's gonna say, man, they just don't have any energy tonight, man. And if Detroit can just come out and put us away in the first half, maybe we're just gonna take a rest in the second half. I'm counting on that. They've lost 8,000 games in a row, so it's got to end at some point. They won't go 2-80. I hope. So at some point, they got to win, right? At some point. I don't know if it's not, but I'm going to say, in fact, I don't have it on here. I don't believe I have it. Don't I have it on here? I don't have the guarantee button on here. I don't think I do have it in this studio. But yeah, I'm going to guarantee it. Detroit will beat Utah tonight. They're going to beat Utah tonight. Detroit will beat Utah tonight. I guarantee it. But I'll be at Fertitta Center this evening to watch the Cougs men's team play Texas State with associate head coach Benny Seltzer for Texas State, who Coach Kelvin Sampson said is the best point guard he's ever coached. Interesting. The Rockets go to Detroit on January 12th. Detroit comes here on New Year's night, January 1st. Part of that will be both teams are going to have like a twin promotion for the twin bobbleheads for Amin and Oscar Thompson on January 1st and 12th. So Detroit will win a game again. I'm saying it's going to happen tonight. But yes, I'll be at Fertitta Center tonight watching the Cougs versus Texas State, 7 o'clock tip-off. And then after that, join me, Dayon Dunlap, and Andy Yanez after the game for our next edition of Let's Rage Cougs. The original post-game show for Houston football and men's basketball online version, streaming version. So subscribe to the Roundball Review YouTube channel. Click on that bell so you can receive notifications of when we go live. So everyone, thank you very much for your comments, taking time out to watch today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Mr. Alvin Franklin, the Senior Associate AD, really in charge of fundraising and the Cougar Pride arm of Houston Athletics. Tell your friends about that. Be sure you watch it. Spread the word. It's part of what we do here, part of what I do on the Roundball Review Takeover. Advertise options are available for you on this show, on Folks Talking Sports as well. Email me, kgardner@thehrr.com. One more time, kgardner@thehrr.com. Email me if you want to advertise on this show and be seen on numerous platforms, including on Roku via the BS3 network. So in conclusion, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa to you, those who celebrate that as well. Thank you very much for watching this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. And always remember, the Houston Roundball Review since 1994. Local name, global perspective. Y'all take care. Peace.